Solving a system of linear equations using elimination with multiplication and addition. I've included the steps over here on what we need to do, and I'm going to kind of walk through these. For the most part, with every example that you have for this topic, this first step probably won't exist. But you always want to look and make sure. So in this case, it says to look for terms that can be eliminated, okay? Which means cancel. We're wanting to cancel terms. So we're kind of treating this like a big addition problem. So the equations do not have any x and y terms with same coefficients. So in this case, we don't have any that have the same coefficients. Notice this is a 7 and this is a -3. They can't cancel. This has got a 6 and a -2. They can't cancel. Okay, so the second step, of course, is to multiply the second equation by, okay, and you're going to need to look to see what you need to multiply by in order to cancel it. So let's kind of work through this, that way you can better understand. Now, I've picked, you can pick either variable, it doesn't matter, either letter. So you could pick this one, which would be a little bit more complicated, or you can pick the y. I'm picking the y because it's easier because we only need to change this y here. Okay, if we pick the x, we'd have to change both of them. Okay, to understand, we want to cancel it, make it 0. So if we've got 6 minus 2, that would give us 4. Well, that's not canceling it. So in order to cancel it, we'd have to have a positive 6, which we have, and a -6. Okay, so we need to turn this -2 into a -6. In order to do that, we would have to multiply it by 3. And if we're going to multiply it by 3, we have to multiply every single thing in the second equation by 3. That's where this by 3 comes into play. So we're going to rewrite this. I'm going to rewrite the first equation first. Now, most people, they either like substitution or they like elimination. They don't typically like both. Each is fun, but you're still doing some substitution in this one. Okay, now remember, we're multiplying each thing by 3. So if you need to, draw some arrows. So 3 times that -3 is -9. I'm going to draw my line there. Again, we're going to do 3 times a -2. So that gets us our -6, which is what we wanted. And then the last is 3 times -2, which is -6. Okay, so 6 minus 6 canceled. Okay, we wanted it to go away, so it zeroed out. You can put a 0 there if you want, scratch it out, either way. And so now we're going to combine or add everything else. In this case, it's subtraction because we have a negative. So 7 minus 9 gets us -2x. Bring down, you can do plus 0 if you want. And 10 minus 6, which is 4. To clean this up and make it prettier for us to read, I'm going to write it like this. So we've got -2x equals 4. Divide both sides by -2. So x equals -2. Okay, so we have found our x. Okay, which of course this is what you would type into your box in Alex. But we have to find our y. So we have done this step. Rewrite, add the equations. We've done that. We've solved for the variable. Now it says substitute your answer into one of the original equations. With the substitution method, we had to be very specific on which one we were substituting it back into. And this one, it doesn't matter. We can pick either equation. Now, of course, I'm going to pick the easier one with the smaller numbers just because It's easier. I like smaller numbers. If you want to do the other one, that's fine too. Either way, you'll get the same answer. Okay, and you're substituting it back into the original one, not into the one you multiplied the 3 into. So here we've got negative 3 times negative 2 is 6, minus 2y equals negative 2. For those of you who like drawing your line. We're solving for y, so we're going to subtract 6 on both sides. So now we've got negative 8 equals negative 2y. Divide by negative 2 on both sides. So y equals 4. And again, you would get the same answer if you substituted into the first equation. And you can only do that for the elimination method.